The Shield to get back together after 2372 days. Roman Reigns to retire WWE legend? 5 predictions for the OTC for the rest of 2025. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Roman Reigns is still part of the Bloodline saga in WWE. The original tribal chief reunited with the Usos on Raw to tackle the Vision faction. However, this reunion instead sparked conflicts between them, particularly after Reigns suffered a loss to Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, following a disruption by the Samoan twins. The original tribal chief was missing from Raw after Crown Jewel, but he is advertised to appear at Survivor Series, War Games 2025. In this article, we will be making 5 major predictions for the rest of 2025. Seth Rollins suffered an unexpected betrayal from Braun Breaker and the Vision on the latest episode of Raw. Apart from the storyline, the Visionary is suffering from a real-life injury, and his recovery period is expected to last until WrestleMania 42. However, Rollins is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and before getting ruled out from TV, fans might see a one-off Shield reunion on Monday Night Raw after almost 2372 days. The OTC might seek vengeance from the Vision for his loss at Crown Jewel. Following Rollins' betrayal, Seth may also return to take down the faction. With the same goals, Rollins and Reigns might come on the same page, but after this, Seth may get written off television for the recovery period. Roman Reigns is playing a tweener character on Monday Night Raw. Slowly, the character of the OTC is inclining more towards his villainous side, especially when he has already tried to corrupt Jey Uso. Considering this, it's probable that Roman Reigns turns heel before the end of 2025. This heel turn will solidify his tribal chief character, and once again he will become dominant and ruthless on television. John Cena has competed against many former opponents in this retirement tour, but Roman Reigns is still not on the list. The original tribal chief has a lot of history with the franchise player, and with only a few dates left, WWE might plan to have Cena vs Reigns showdown. If this happens, then the OTC might lock horns with Cena in his final match at Saturday night's main event and eventually retire him in this final bout. With this victory, Roman will again get a huge momentum on his side ahead of the Royal Rumble 2026. CM Punk is the current No. 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, if Seth Rollins could be forced to relinquish the title, then Adam Pearce is expected to contest a tournament to crown the new champion. In this scenario, Roman Reigns also holds a strong chance to win the vacant championship and emerge as the title holder before the end of 2025. This prediction can come true, especially after the slow, complete heel turn of the OTC in WWE. After Seth Rollins kicked out as the leader of the Vision, Paul Heyman's alliance needs a new leader on his side, and Roman Reigns could be a perfect fit for the role. Heyman and Reigns have already been part of the Bloodline faction, and under their leadership, the faction reached new heights. If the OTC turns heel and joins hands with the Oracle again, then the Vision will still emerge as a strong faction despite kicking out the Visionary. So this will be another prediction of the Roman Reigns for the remainder of 2025. Love Verma is a WWE features writer at Sportskeeda Wrestling with a bachelor's degree in arts and legislative law. His experience in legal drafting helps him cross-check reports with reputed media to ensure their accuracy. Despite being an avid WWE fan, Verma manages to maintain objectivity in his work, ensuring unbiased writing that resonates with both the casual reader and die-hard fan. Love became a pro wrestling fan after watching Royal Rumble 2014, and became a Brock Lesnar guy following the 2015 edition of Royal Rumble. He admires the sheer power and dominance the Beast incarnate displayed in his triple threat match against John Cena and Seth Rollins. However, one of his favorite matches is Seth Rollins vs Randy Orton at WrestleMania 31, where Orton delivered one of the greatest RKOs ever. Outside of wrestling, he enjoys painting, sketching, and immersing himself in the world of PC and PlayStation gaming, showcasing his creativity and love for entertainment. The Shield could be on the verge of making one of the most shocking reunions in WWE history after 2,372 days apart, and the wrestling world can't stop talking about it. As WWE heads into the final stretch of 2025, rumors surrounding Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and AEW have set the internet ablaze. With several storyline hints dropped on recent episodes of Raw and SmackDown, speculation is at an all-time high that WWE could be building toward an emotional reunion of the Shield, one of the most dominant factions the company has ever seen. The last time the three brothers stood side by side inside a WWE ring was back in 2019, when the Shield had their final chapter before Ambrose's departure. Since then, much has changed. Reigns has become the face of WWE and a record-breaking undisputed Universal Champion, Rollins has cemented himself as one of the best in-ring performers of his generation, and Ambrose has built a reputation as one of AEW's top stars. Yet now, with WWE entering a new creative direction under Triple H and a monumental event titled the OTC reportedly on the horizon, fans believe the timing might finally be right for the trio to reunite for one last mission. The year 2025 has been full of twists, betrayals, and shocking returns, but a Shield reunion would top them all. Here are 5 major predictions for the OTC and the rest of the year that could define not just the faction's future, but WWE's entire direction moving forward. The first major prediction revolves around the long-awaited return of Dean Ambrose to WWE. While Moxley remains one of AEW's biggest stars, his recent comments about unfinished business in another company have fueled massive speculation. WWE insiders have hinted that Triple H has been in quiet talks with multiple free agents, and many fans believe Moxley could be the biggest surprise return of the year. If it happens, the OTC could mark the night the Shield finally reunites after 2,372 days apart. A shocking return by Ambrose to aid Rollins and Reigns against a common enemy, perhaps the Bloodline or another top heel faction, would send shockwaves across the wrestling world. The symbolism of Ambrose walking through the crowd one more time, fists clenched and music hitting, would be an unforgettable WWE moment. It's the kind of emotional payoff that has been years in the making, and the OTC might be the perfect platform for it. The second prediction centers on Roman Reigns' next big chapter, as rumors swirl about him facing and potentially retiring a WWE legend at the OTC. With his schedule becoming more limited and his dominance approaching legendary status, many insiders believe Reigns could face a major opponent like John Cena, Randy Orton, or even Brock Lesnar one final time. Recent teases on SmackDown have hinted at Reigns confronting a legend who refuses to step aside. A storyline tailor-made for a career-ending bout. If WWE goes this route, Reigns defeating and retiring a future Hall of Famer could symbolize the end of one era and the rise of another. It would further solidify his place as not only the tribal chief but as a generational icon, setting up his eventual exit from full-time competition in 2026. The third prediction involves Seth Rollins' redemption arc after betraying the Vision earlier this year. Rollins' character has been on a downward spiral since his shocking turn at Crown Jewel, but WWE might use the OTC as the moment for his redemption. Aligning once again with Roman Reigns and a returning Dean Ambrose would give Rollins the emotional closure his character desperately needs. Fans have long been waiting to see a babyface version of Rollins' team with his Shield brothers one last time, and that moment could happen as WWE builds towards Survivor Series, War Games. The timing couldn't be better. 3 men who started together, evolved separately, and now find themselves at a crossroads of legacy and loyalty. The fourth prediction focuses on the Bloodline's role in this entire story. The faction that once dominated SmackDown under Roman Reigns' leadership has started to crumble, with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu reportedly taking control of the group in Reigns' absence. The OTC could feature a massive multi-man showdown, the Bloodline versus the Shield, marking the ultimate battle for supremacy in WWE. Not only would this match draw enormous global attention and loyalty,